This is the trading review for Monday, the beginning of the last week of March 2023. Um, it was a very rough day in terms of the market. I was looking at Apple and Tesla primarily, but Tesla is not my main focus due to the fact that it has very it has a good price action, but the margin requirements don't allow me to trade it at a size that's necessary to take advantage of the moves. But reversed from R5 and ran down to R4, and because Tesla was a bullish day, oh no, it was bearish, but because Tesla traded above R4, I didn't want to trade it into the inside. But you can see here this will having a good move uh, here, but I'm happy avoiding that move. So that's that. And then I looked at Nvidia as secondary as well, which is where I took the trade. I looked at Apple, but it failed to reach R3, which was my goal to make an entry, and then it just dropped. And Apple was bullish, so I was more interested in an S3 long, but it never happened. It actually dropped to S4 and it broke down from S4. So it's pretty interesting. We had a rejection there, um, and it just didn't work out. The market sold off before it recovered. And Nvidia as well. I had Nvidia as a bearish day, so I wasn't really targeting an S3 reversal. I was hoping for an R3 short, uh, but the 5 minute candles, the 1 minute candles, the setups were not manifesting. Volume was tricky to interpret, tricky to read. So I avoided making an entry here in this area, which would have been an area appropriate entry, but no setup manifested. So I waited. We rejected S4 here. We regained S3 without the pre-market without the pre-market data. With the pre-market data, sorry, without the pre-market data, we were forming like a breakout from the triangle here. So we had a stack at 267, and we failed to break down. So even though we're not getting necessarily that much volume, I mean my entry here, and you can see that the advancement was on an increasing volume, but then we stalled at BWAP. So I'm very happy that I made my entry here, aiming for at least 3R and get allowed, because I knew with the bearish pivots, we were not likely to have a full move to the top side. Um, this was just a dead cat bounce before we came down again, and we had an opportunity to make an entry here actually again, but I hit the goal, and it doesn't make sense to wait 2 more hours or 30 minutes actually to use an attempt that might not even work. But you can see that we went to be welcome, then reacted again. So it wasn't a day for Nvidia to really be a very bullish stock. And so that's my trade. It was an S3 trade. So it's an A trade. Just want to confirm that it is indeed that. It's right here. Yeah, so it's an S3 to R3 traverse. Yes, win 3R. Oh, that's an S. And it's perfect trade with no breakout rules, even though the profit taking was not by the book. It was done based on the criteria that it was not bullish pivots. We didn't have bullish pivots, so we couldn't expect a move to the top side that was going to be the full range. Plus, you can see on the daily, we were clearly selling off from the previous day close. So it was a nice short. I'm sorry, it was a nice long for a bounce before returning. And that was done before taking the trade. So that's why I'm very happy, and it's very important to do the plan before taking the trade. So I think the goal was met. And no weekly stuff. Okay. So that's the trading review for the day. Very good process. A lot of patience. Okay. So once plan trades well ahead of time to manage to remain calm. Let's try the temptation to make an entry. 3. Avoided less than optimal trades. 4. Managed to adapt when original plans were voided. And my proudest moment was pull the trigger based on the system and against my emotions, which is what I'm supposed to do. So that's it for Monday.